Bananas.
Welcome back.
Bananas and English cream.
To another
baby.
episode in the studio. Well, the last one we did, was it on the road or was it in the studio? With
No, I was ill.
Oh, we did it.
I was
remote.
sick of you, and I didn't want to come.
Was
Didn't want
it
to come
remote?
and fucking look at your goddamn face. Yeah, no, I was sick. Remember, and then we just decided to hit it with Riverside. Terrible.
Which was pretty sick, by the way.
Probably quality, I think.
In the end, it turned out that yours and Dante's whatever
Was better.
webcam footage was shitty. No, it's because I was using my
Oh
phone.
yeah,
remember?
yeah. The other way around. Shit.
Complete opposite, playboy.
What?
What's Gucci? What'd you get up to today?
Me, just an annoying set of tasks.
What?
Had to get some cards. I had to print out some cards to Bark.
The wedding? Oh,
No,
the show.
for this show that has 0 tickets sold.
Yeah. This is
A Wednesday show.
comedy bar.
Well, no.
This is you and Faraz, or
Yeah.
oh shit! I thought Winona had kind of a built-in thing. They don't got a comedy bar thing.
Doesn't
going on.
feel like it has any momentum at all. Actually, zero. I feel like I'm at 0 tickets. It feels like I owe
Negative.
somebody money.
Yeah?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know why. So I went and got the Red Hot. I used Red Hot.
Sick.
Great.
Those are the guys.
So easy. But pissed me off was I go there. The guy's like, order's ready. So I'm like, I'm going to go get my haircut and leave some of the cards at my barbershop.
Okay.
I get to the thing and the guy's like, like when guys start to
Back out.
makes noises and you're like,
You're like, here we go.
This can't be good.
Yeah. They're about to deny something they already said is
He's
cool.
just like, fucking
my boss.
my balls. And he's like, okay, it's going to be 20 more minutes. So I was like, oh, okay. And then he waited for almost an exchange to happen.
What do you mean he gave you 20 more minutes?
He's like, no, it's going to take 20 more minutes.
The haircut.
No, oh my God, it's just damaged.
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
I can't afford to replace that.
Yeah, it feels like
it's
a
fine.
broken bone.
It's going to be good.
So he's just like, no, come back in 20 minutes. And I wanted to swear at him.
Come back in 20 just for the haircut.
No, for the posters.
Oh, the Red Hot guys.
Red Hot.
Oh, that's weird. He told you it was ready. You went.
Said, order ready. We're here till 3. I go there. It needs 20 more minutes. Destroyed my whole plan. And then I had to double back to go. And you know, when I was a kid, I never knew what double back meant.
Now you get it.
Get it entirely. It's so easy.
The problem with Red Hot is it's not near anything. You can't just be like, oh, kill 20 minutes next door at the fucking the FedEx depot or whatever the fuck is in that weird plaza. It's just death.
It's
And
and it's like foggy glass on the door. It's like they
You don't know what's going on.
You don't even want it. It feels like you're closed.
it's all secretive. And the boys are just in. They're all like ex-hippies. You see, they're like they all got like ponytails and like.
Well, then I get in there and he goes, you got a whatever your credit card. You have the physical card because I don't know what year this place is in currently. But he just takes my card, and then enough time went by that I'm like, oh, I should check because he could do whatever he wants with this.
Oh yeah, he's got an Amazon subscription.
But then realized maybe there's like a look on my face because he kept saying like sorry, and I just like either you know that you fucked it or my face is saying you fuck. Either way, it's him.
there's acknowledgement of fuckery.
I guess I feel like people really know. You know.
You're paying for his Disney Plus, Netflix, everything. He's subscribed to everything right now. He's like, oh yeah, here you go. You're all set, bud. You're all set.
You ever have someone take your credit card and then you can't see their face?
You're like, hey man, let me see your expressions as
Should
you
I have
operate
asked
with
them
that
to just
thing.
do cash?
If you do cash with those boys, they love it. Okay, so in the future, do cash with them. They really push for it. Even I was like, can I e-transfer you? They're like, nah.
No,
I was like,
he was like he didn't even say anything.
they're going
though.
off the book completely.
Yeah.
No, I told you. Remember one time?
No,
told
I
you to
know,
bring
but
cash?
he didn't say it to me.
I think maybe did he quote you in advance before you grabbed it, or did he just say it's ready and then charge you?
No,
when you're
he's
there?
like, is this good? It's going to be $80 for 80 of them.
yeah, that's crazy. How big is the leaflet?
It's 3x3.
It was 80 for 80.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
that's what it is.
God damn, them boys fucked you over. Red Hot, what are you doing? Did you see them print one on one, or was it like did they?
No, he cut it.
So they printed like one of them per page and cut them.
Probably, yeah. He's like, I have to cut these, and they cut them nice.
Well, hopefully it works for you. At least Bloor's got a lot of.
Oh,
foot
it's not
traffic.
going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this city's just a death pit. You hand somebody a card, you be like, hey, there's a thing happening. They're like, oh, I'm going to go kill myself.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had that. That was my plan tonight.
That was the big plan here on Bloor.
And you're like, oh, shit. Sorry.
I'm going down to Adelaide for taller buildings. Bloor's all fucking 3 stories.
And like a good question is like, where do you go?
to suicide?
No, I'm saying, where do you even go to hand people cards? It's like I've done.
You got to be within the vicinity.
I've done it around that area. It's a terrible area.
Dufferin, Bloor Station.
You know what's hilarious about Toronto is everyone will be like, "Oh, that's a great area." You go to it, it's the fucking worst.
What examples?
Who
told you?
South of Bloor is literally the worst part of Toronto. If you're under fucking 25, you think that's the best part of Toronto. You think
like
Little Tibet and
Park?
Anything south of it. There's a bunch of neighborhoods over there. Like Little Tibet, for example, Parkdale.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, it
horrifying.
Sucks. Every business is either shut down or on the verge of shutting down.
That looks like,
except for Momo's.
If you just took a picture, and like the only reason fucking people fuck with Parkdale is way back when it was like starting to get gentrified, is Harry's Charbroil went there, and that was like this. It's connected to some chef. Toronto's all about these like chef.
It's just more affordable because it's
dudes.
shittier older housing. That's I think most of what it is that.
Anyways, it's
done and shit.
It fucking sucks.
Why were you even down there? You're in a mood today.
I wasn't.
Homie's in a mood today.
I wasn't down there.
What's going on, bud?
Just annoyed. Generally annoyed. Yeah,
What's
because there's nothing now. There's no tour. I gotta fucking weed through all this crap again.
We literally did our last Montreal show 3 days ago, homie.
Yeah, I'm already annoyed.
Yeah.
I realize that's who I am.
You need something in the fucking
I think
docket.
I just you know how like some sea creatures swim gleefully? I think I swim like a shark. I'm like, fuck.
Dun-dun.
Yeah, like I'm
You gotta
actually
fin
no,
up
I would
over the
rather
water?
I'd rather be an orca. You see what the orcas have been doing?
They fucking eat sharks left and right.
Feels like orcas have been getting together and just being like, let's just
Have you guys
be
heard
different.
the PR on sharks? No, fuck that shit.
Did you see?
We're the ones.
But did you see what happened?
No, an orca fucked someone up?
Well, they have been like randomly attacking sharks, like great white sharks. They're like, I can just eat your ass.
And fucking them up?
You kill them, no problem.
How much bigger is an orca than a great white? Bigger?
Way bigger, yeah.
Whale size shit.
Way bigger, yeah. It's a
Way
whale.
bigger?
Yeah,
I
way
thought a
bigger.
great white was like half the size of a pretty big whale.
If you saw, we don't have Dante today. And I also realized that we gotta give Dante like a tutorial on being the guy in the booth. Because we'll be talking about something and then he'll go to search and be like, what? I'm like, we got to help you.
Yeah, you got to follow.
Yeah.
He's got to get that Jamie class. That
But
Jamie master class.
they'll fuck with boats. Like they'll just
I did see
tip
that.
over boats for
I did
fun.
see that. Like some fucking Illuminati or what's up, Machiavellian, like
Yeah.
they're doing some revenge shit.
And they
like,
they swim past, they look at you.
they're fucking.
They look at you with the real eye, not that white eye spot.
you get the message.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they're coming for the next
racist,
ones.
too. They say racist comments.
Well, I think all the whales in captivity finally communicated to them that these humans are fucking with us on a crazy level.
Could be that, actually. But I'm pretty sure if an orca in captivity goes in to hang out with other orcas, they'll just kill
Oh,
them.
they'll fuck.
They'll
Those
kill
are all
them.
like bedridden orcas. They're gonna get dominated. But
Kind of curious, though. They're so smart. Why would you kill a homie, just a sad homie?
I don't even think they kill them. They're just in captivity, like. And
But
then
I'm
there's
saying,
so
like,
many of them.
you know, in a movie, if you and I wrote a movie, the orca would come out of captivity and it would be like, yo, and everyone would be like, yo, and it
No,
would be
no, no,
sick.
no.
But
It
in
would
real
be-
life, it's...
That's how that orca would think. He'd be telling all the orcas, in
Yeah.
like, when I get out, I'm gonna be cool with everyone.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets out, and then they're all rough.
They beat him up.
Street orcas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they don't fuck around with him. He's like private school orca. Coming
Yeah, but
to
it's
public
not.
school.
He had a terrible...
I know. Like, oh shit. They're like leaving me. It's like, she's got bags with her.
She's
Shit.
just-
and she's gone. Yeah,
And she's
I don't think she's coming back.
There's never like a blue whale in captivity.
Yo, it's too big.
Yeah.
God, I want to see a blue whale so
It's
bad.
probably so hard to catch.
You've ever seen a blue whale?
Never like live.
Has anyone fished a blue whale?
fished?
You just said catch.
That's an inappropriate question. Fished.
But
Fish
you just
implies
said
you
catch.
hook. Catch is a net system.
Okay, either, whether it's a net or a hook, whatever the
I think you would need two
whatever the
freights.
apparatus is.
Yeah, you would need
that's- you're
two
fishing.
freight boats.
A whale is still a fish,
Yeah.
right? You're still. I get it.
whale
It's
is
a
still a
giant
fish.
fish, but you're fishing.
Am I
that
low to you
motherfucker.
in there? No?
Now you're coming through
Okay.
nice. Yeah,
No, I think you would, because if you've ever watched the movie Deep Blue Sea,
I just watched it.
of course you did.
Yeah.
Netflix is suggesting items.
Ooh.
They just use a big ass net with like a whole like.
But it's a
pulley
titanium
lever.
net that has give.
Yeah,
That's what that guy said.
Yeah, it's a titanium net. You would need
I love LL Cool J's
humongous net.
role. Oh,
The
for a
chef.
blue whale? No, you couldn't. You couldn't do a net. You'd need to harpoon and do like electromagnetic new age, like and like its heart stops or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. If it's not in water, its heart explodes or something.
They're gonna do some next level novel shit to take out a blue whale. A net, you'd have to be a giant. It'd have to be connected to like what's it called, the air freight carriers.
Be pretty cool to see.
God, I want to see a blue whale so bad.
Do you ever go to the Rom Museum?
Yeah, I did.
They had a whale exhibit there.
Not a blue whale. Not when I went.
No. But they just talked about whales. Apparently, those motherfuckers were just dogs.
What do you mean?
They were like wolves on land that then eventually became whales. They evolved into whales.
Really?
Correct.
Wait. Whales started on the ground?
On the ground. They were land animals.
Really? You're not fucking with me?
No, this was in the museum. I know it sounds
whales.
Funny, but yeah, whales.
Huh. How does that happen? I feel like whales were like the first things. You know what I mean?
It's fucking weird because you look at this thing and it gives you a timeline, but they look like dog wolf things.
Yeah.
And then
everything at the beginning looked like a dog wolf, by the way.
Pretty much.
Primates before
but then
they
it
were
would
monkeys,
just like
dog wolves.
be in the water and then a bunch of time would go by.
Like a Komodo dragon type shit.
It would get like fins, kind of.
Kind of like a halfway between.
What I don't understand is, you know how they say evolution and then it's just like, okay, you get web feet or something? What the hell is like... How? Like, how does that even make sense, you know?
Webbed feet?
Because, like, think about it. If you got webbed feet...
It's good for water.
It's good for water, but you didn't... So if you're one of those whale dog puppies...
Yeah.
You're in the water, and then you're like, whoa, shit, my shit's getting webbed. You know?
No, that's not how it would work.
Oh, okay.
There'd be 20 of them. One of them got the web feet. And then the predator that comes to eat them eats 19 of them because they're too slow. But the nigga with the web made it out. Fucks. Now you got the next motherfucker.
So it's not
coming.
slow. It's just one day one of them has the fins.
It is mutated, and then that mutation makes them strong in the environment.
See, I was thinking it was more like the way gray.
It just happens.
The way gray comes into your hair.
Like just one day you wake up.
One day you're like
oh,
different,
fuck.
You know?
You're like, oh shit, I got
kind of like Spider-Man.
Beard.
Kind of like Spider-Man.
I like a gray in my beard. I can't wait till just this front part here. It's just like once you just got some gray over here, people just fucking listen to you and trust what you have to say.
I think
more.
that's kind of that you got as you get older. Can you really start to be like, I hate that? Because then the hating it route is so expensive.
Oh, the color of it.
Color of it, the way you look.
As a man, we have to embrace it. It's like, why run from it? If anything, it makes us look more trustworthy, more distinguished. It increases our value, so to speak, unless you're all gray, right?
Well, unless you have, unless you're gray, but then you're young looking still.
You're 30s and you got like some like stripes. You look like a fucking superhero or some shit. Yeah. That's sick as hell.
Something with being young is there's just some weight that you don't have yet. That's like the major difference.
But that's not the young we're talking about. The young the weightless young is like pre-12.
No, I'm saying like up until you're like 25. Like I look like older now, you know?
Yeah, but like, are you talking about weight
even
of the
you,
world?
There was a memory or a Facebook memory that came back up. Or I watched Micers. Again.
Micers.
And you have hair in that.
Crazy, huh?
That's crazy.
2018.
And you look...
That's what the scene did to me, baby.
You look 18 in that thing, but you're...
Relative, because you're looking at me right now.
Yeah, but it's like, how the hell...
But at that time, I did not look 18.
How old were you there?
26.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, you look 18 there.
Yeah, 26. Then what the fuck do I look now?
30, I guess. But when you're
32,
when you're 45, you're gonna look back at this and be like, "Oh, I look like I was in my 20s."
Oh, I mean, I would hope when I'm 45, I look exactly the way I look right now.
That's not gonna happen. I mean,
oh fuck, with a little whatever they call silver fox action. Ooh, give me that Morgan Freeman salt and pepper.
Where does this live, by the way, open micers?
YouTube.
No, I know, but on your YouTube?
I think it's on my YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find it before. So you
just type in open micers.
Oh, you have to type in Abbas Wahab open micers. It comes up. Man, look at you in this.
What's the views on that, by the way?
Oh, probably gone down somehow.
Oh wow.
Your hair, dude.
Yeah. But it was receding nicely. You can't really tell. Actually, you can tell.
You can tell.
That's my friend and his girl too.
You look darker though, like with it on the head.
I look like my complexion looks darker.
Yeah, you look darker overall. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. What's the views on that, by the way?
Okay.
Is it over 1,000?
Let me check. Over 1,000. Let's see if this guy's popping over 1,000.
I mean, it's fucking old as shite. Actually, it didn't even go up on YouTube until like 3 years ago, I think.
734. And I think maybe 10 of those are me.
Yeah, there
where
you go.
I'm like,
11 now.
Let me see.
Yeah,
it,
you're like, look at his hair. Here, all of them.
Studying your.
Look at his fucking.
Follicles.
Look at him looking 18 in this bitch. Yeah, people still ask about episode 2 of that. I'm like, it's not happening, guys. It was 6 years ago. Hi.
Well,
I mean, human.
It looked great. Why I was looking at it was because, and no hate, okay? So I had to do this short.
That's how you know hate is coming.
Yeah, I realized.
That's how you know hate is coming.
So I was going to do this short, and then I looked at the content.
Straight jacket?
The thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the content that they were making. Let me see if I can get it for you. Because, oh, man. I can't find it. Maybe in the history.
It's like pure YouTube shit.
It just was pure YouTube shit, and I was trying to explain. So I guess I have a bad habit of...
Well, give context. I
guess I have a bad habit of being a pussy, because I was explaining it to my fiance, Deanna, that...
Shout out, Deanna.
Shout out. I was trying to say, like, you know when you don't want to make a decision, but you want to, but you can't, kind of? Like, I didn't want to go to the...
This is the straight jacket shot. Like
this, that I just didn't want to do this short. So it was like a short that I got connected with, and it's like supposed to be scary. I'm trying to do more shorts, trying to get into TV and film and stuff. And the scene is like I got to be Leatherface, and then I got to be a warden. And Leatherface gets like a chainsaw. He's got to be bound in a fucking straitjacket. Now keep in mind
that makes sense, but a warden,
thousands of dollars. It's like $200 for a bunch of time, and I might be like in this for a while. Non-union set. The things that were going through my mind is Alex Baldwin. I was like,
you're gonna get shot in the
that guy
face.
can fuck it up, what the hell is going to happen to me? So I show open micers to Deanna, because I was like, this is what I was going for. But actually, before I showed her that, I'd shown her the stuff that they were making.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, this looks like really like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need it to look like this. And I showed her Open Micers, because Open Micers looks really like a show.
Because Mark shot it proper.
Yeah, Mark's just ready to shoot.
Damn fucking right.
And that's when I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
This will set me back almost.
But years ago, remember Kevork, that comedian Kevork?
Yeah, isn't he like really popular with pranks and stuff?
Yeah. So he was like, yo, come do videos. And then he's like, yo, come do a video with me a month before. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then a day before, I run into him. He goes, you're not going to pussy out for tomorrow, right? And just the way he said it, I'm like, pussy out. So then I Googled what he does. I thought we were just making like a funny
content.
Skit. The way he said, you're not pussying out, right? I'm like, pussying out. I Googled it. Bro, his shit is just like...
crazy.
I'm going to go on an escalator in a mall and slap this guy's head. And I don't pussy out. Like, bro, I'm not... down to make any of this fucking content.
Dude, I'm not
Fuck
down.
this. You're going to go 300,000 subscribers or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you're going to get shot in the face or your nose broken any second. If it's not already.
When he first started I'm trying to look for this video. When he first started in comedy, or not when I first started, people would see him and he would do his crazy thing. But the amount of respect that people have for followers, like he would go and do his nuts stuff. And then I would be like, what's this deal? Like, just trying to get to know the scene more. I'm like, what's the deal with this guy? And they'd be like, he's got a lot of followers on YouTube. Like, and he could just do it. That was it. Not even that he was funny or people enjoyed his company. It was like actually the opposite of those two. And no, he's got a lot.
His base is really strong.
He's a prank. He's actually a prank guy.
Yeah.
You're like, really? Him?
Yeah.
None of it made sense. You look at him, you're like, none of this.
Oh, the personality on stage, all of it. I thought it was autism for years, to be honest.
I think we all thought
I think till this day it's inconclusive. I don't know what.
Imagine he's the number one listener of this podcast.
Yeah, one tear coming down his eye. It was autism guy.
Found it.
This is their channel?
Yeah, so their channel's big, and that's kind of
name it.
I don't know what it is. You'll see what it is. It's like got enough subscribers or whatever, which is what they were hyped on. Just watch that for like a little bit and you can even fast forward through it. Just like the way it looks, I was like, oh, I probably should have looked at it a little sooner, but it just doesn't resonate with what I'm trying to get.
It's YouTube, pure YouTube shit.
Pure
That's
YouTube,
what I meant.
Yeah.
Like,
I just need it to be something a little...
This could do really good on YouTube, but it's like...
Which doesn't do anything for me.
You're trying to stack your IMDb.
Yes.
Right?
But also somebody's not going to watch that and go to a comedy show because they're like,
yo, you were that guy frantically screaming
you.
with that 5 people in the kitchen.
You're like,
dude,
no, I was actually uncomfortable. I had to wear
That's the guy near the sink.
Yeah.
That's him.
Dude, you played a great, like, agitated monster. It's like, no, I was agitated. I was really agitated. I wasn't even acting.
But keep applying on Mandy though, because most of it is.
But just read like what the things are.
I just got hit up the other day they're like, we want you to apply to this thing. It's the day rate was pretty good. It's like $500 for the day. I was like, oh, sick. So I mean, that's kind of on the lower end of like
just you and assless chaps. Is that what it was?
No, they're like, it's a commercial for whatever, but it's 5 spots.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm not doing 5 spots for that. They want to make 5 separate ads and use you like to the max. And it's for social media. I'm like, yo, 5 spots for social media. You got to be paying at least 5 times this for that to be reasonable. Like the idea that you're going to pay $100 a spot. Like, I'm not stupid. I know that you're putting 10 grand in and you're thinking, oh, we'll just fucking get these actors last second. Like we're not privy to the way this thing gets budgeted.
If we didn't love comedy and really like gravitate towards that, and somebody explained what the business really is, like, it is terrible.
Oh my God.
There's a whole ring of the business that's trying to steal, but that they've been doing it for so long, they're kind of like legit.
100%.
You know?
That whole acting game is like that.
Okay, so Max Models, right near...
Sheldrick?
No, not Max.
What?
It's actually called...
Oh.
It's actually called Max Models. I realize now, like, the way you heard
what?
It. What? No, he doesn't model.
That's hilarious. I would have never heard that.
When I first got to Toronto, I was walking out of the airport, and this is when I had like a man bun, and I had like this, like, that's
super gay.
One of those scarves that you have to do like a figure 8 on your head, and it would like
the real thick New York ones.
Yeah. I looked like
I didn't know which way you were going.
Yeah. It was could have been
going either way.
So I'm walking, and this lady comes up to me, and she's like, "Oh, you should be a model." And now my whole life,
Max,
my whole life, I'm like, this is how it happens. This is what I want to happen.
Finally.
So she's like, go to this place where Max models. I know, it sounds like Max. For the audience, they have no context. Max is a guy we know in comedy.
Yeah.
He could probably model if he wanted to.
Yeah, in like 86. You know, he's got the look to model before the big diversity shit.
Yeah, just oily hands.
Then now he's the type of white guy that doesn't get gigs. They go with you and they go with like some like Scandinavian type shit.
They discriminate.
No one's going for small town Canada look. No.
Not even Tim Hortons.
Not even small town Canada.
Yeah. So they tell me to go, and I'm like, this is a very familiar corner because I actually live near there now. It's across the street from Dave's Hot Chicken on Yonge Street.
Shout out Dave.
You remember the medley?
Yeah, of course.
It's right there.
Okay,
so I vividly remember the day getting dropped off by the cab, across the street looking. There's a red pillar.
I gotta know, your mom knew at this point, right?
No, I was like just all because I had to go there and get pictures.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I go there and I talk to the lady, and she pretends to like interview me for this modeling gig.
Oh my God.
And she's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna send you for pictures. I need you to buy the pictures now, and then we'll set it all up for you. And that made total sense to me. That made
you like debit or credit?
I'm like, holy shit.
Can I pay cash? Yeah, we can work out cash.
Yeah, so
we can figure that
now
out.
looking back, she
remember
took
what you paid?
me $750.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, it hurt.
On the spot?
On the spot, yeah.
You're like, do I keep the scarf on, or do I take it off?
I wanted this to be I wanted it to be something that it wasn't.
By the way, what you're describing
happens a lot.
is LA. That is Los.
LA.
What you just described is Los Angeles.
Looking back, dude,
Traps.
She took me to like
for a ride, brother.
A filing closet. Yeah. She's like, oh, the debit machine only works near this part of the office, and it was like it didn't look like any payments happen here. Now that I look back, it was like 4 boxes, a debit machine on the box, and then like just files of like, all the kids
this is where
been stealing from.
She needed to be to have access to an outlet and the Wi-Fi of one of these businesses.
Pretty much,
I think is what it is.
And it felt like, you know, when like Jason or like It has a collection of all the kids. Like that's what the files felt like.
And you're like, so you guys work with GQ?
Yeah,
all of them.
She takes my money. And then I get pictures. I still get the pictures.
Is it a legit headshot photographer, or does she just take out a camera and start taking pictures?
No, it's air quotes a legit
studio
headshot studio. I go to a place.
Okay,
but prior
Yes.
So at the time, my hair's super long.
Yeah.
So I go there and no advice. Nobody told me to bring anything. I don't know what to bring. I have what I have on and like another pair of clothes.
What year is this?
This is like me. I just almost got to Toronto. So like 4 years into it. So 2013, 14.
Okay.
So I'm young.
Yeah.
So I have like what I have on and then another pair of clothes because I'm like, I don't know how this works.
No.
And then I get there and there's a guy getting pictures done as well, but he has got a rack of clothes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fucked. And there's also another person doing makeup. And she's like, do you want me to do a little bit of makeup for you? I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Touch me
And
after.
then this guy took the worst pictures of me I've ever.
Do you still have them?
My mom once posted it on Facebook, like embarrassing bad. Like my mom
And it
had
was
a
the best
huge-
one?
It was like, yeah. It
One of the
looked
best
like
ones.
it was taken through, like, you know, the foggy window in your bathroom?
Yeah.
It looked like it was taken through that glass.
Yeah.
For some reason. Also, if my mom had like a big
Jordan's
following.
not a high clarity type of guy. He's through a window pane, fogged out.
Yeah, like if
milky,
you really want to
opaque
appreciate Jordan's
type
look.
of look. Yeah, it's got to be through 50% opaque material.
Like if my mom had a
Holy
big
shit.
following, like I would never.
You would've lost it
No
all?
one would respect me.
They would have remembered this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She would have just annihilated me.
That's so fucking funny, man. How many people do they get like this on a yearly basis?
Honestly, sadly,
A
quite
lot.
a lot. I
And
think.
bro, whatever happened to you, it happens 5 times more for women.
Oh my God.
Women,
Yeah.
a lot of the hot ones move to the big city, just like, I'm here to make it and do it. Did you just hop out of a cab? How did she know you were so fresh? Like, what are the odds?
I think it's.
There's a new naive energy about you.
I think it's a common. Oh my God.
You found it?
Oh my God, dude.
Oh my god!
That's a legit. I paid $750 for that, and I ended up getting maybe.
Wait, was that printed? And then she took a picture of the printed one, or that's the digital one?
That's the digital.
Hold that up to the camera.
This is the digital, guys. Just so you guys can.
That looks like you auditioned for The Room
For Buffy.
in 1984. That
Yeah.
perfectly encapsulates 1984.
Buffy, baby.
Like, look, like the way that my camera makes it look like it's adding some effect. That effect is not being added by this
I look
camera.
like I just got kicked out of the band, and they're like, dude, get a real job. It's enough. And my mom saw that. And one thing I realized, I love my mom, she's so nice, is she did not say, oh, this is so bad, because she had no barometer. So it just, this was a big, I was like, oh my God, this is.
Well, she thought this is the beginning of a modeling career.
What's insane is I had like independently done pictures in the Sioux that were fucking
Way
wildly better than
Yeah.
this. And then now shouts, I don't even know who the photographer was, but like they did a really good job looking back. And yeah, man, it's so easy because you hear stories that's how it happens. People tell you that's how it happens. You get to know people where that's similar story. Somebody points them out or something. Terry Crews, even in that fucking podcast.
Yeah, dude, in LA, that's happening not just with headshots, not just with rep, but with acting classes, with acting coaching, with workshops.
Yeah.
It's all like, hey, you're going to wait a month before you get into this place. You come with my studio, I have access to these casting directors, and then suddenly you're in a guy's garage paying $400, like with a couple other naive motherfuckers.
And all they have to do is make it just real enough.
just real enough.
That you
know Tom Cruise, the guy that played opposite him in Mission Impossible 2, the typer in my class.
literally,
Oh,
though.
fuck, the typer. I just watched that movie the other day.
I know that people probably won't even think that that's that funny, what you just said.
But you're like, if
that's
he said Tom Cruise,
actually
I'd be out.
Fucking what happens.
If he said Tom Cruise, I'd be out. But
You're
because
like, the
he was
guy.
around Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
he's the guy. I don't know his name, but he was around him, and he was. That means this guy's 2 degrees of separation from Tom
Canadian
Cruise.
acting teachers and coaches have the funniest adjacent stories to like celebrity.
Oh, and I love that, and a lot of them are Canadian celebrities. They're like, "Do you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
Milton
yeah.
Thomas?" like, and they'll say it. So they're like, "We actually just lunched with Milton Thomas in Ottawa." Do you know Milton Thomas? You're like, "No." They're like, "Oh my god, he's won 7 Perry Awards
You're like, oh,
and a reverse Juno."
is this the
You're like, "What?"
metaverse? What are you talking about?
A reverse Juno? Is that Uno? Like, what the fuck?
I did the first movie I ever did. I was an Arab terrorist.
Yeah, that's so funny. Arabs can't even get that role. We like this guy with the blue eyes. Even they're giving it the role. Yeah, we like your eyes.
We like the Italian kid.
You're like, say Allahu Akbar.
And I remember, actually, you know who was in that movie? Lou Gossett Jr. He just passed away.
Who's that?
He was in
Older?
Old man. And Margot Kidder, she was like the original Lois Lane.
Yeah.
She was in that movie.
This is some Comic-Con
Oh man,
trivia.
I literally felt like
the
I was
original
in,
Lois Lane.
was in this movie as a grandmother.
What's her name?
Margot Kidder.
And now it's the Stan Margot Kidder, who you may all know her as the original Lois Lane.
She's famous for two things: being Lois Lane
and not killing herself.
and pretty much not killing herself, but having a famous meltdown in her like city.
Oh my God, where's Dante when you need him?
I know. And
she had a famous meltdown.
She had a famous meltdown, and Lou Gossett told me a story where he got pulled out of his Corvette in like the 70s or 80s on the highway, and they just chained him to a tree.
Who?
Lou Gossett Jr.
But who?
The cops,
Why?
because he was black.
Oh, he's a black guy.
He's a black guy. Yeah.
They chained him to a tree.
Yeah. He's like, I pissed myself. It was terrible. I was like, oh my
And then what happened? They came and
They just took his car.
So honestly, they
said he stole this car. He's like, he stole his car. They didn't know he was in this show at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just treated him like shit.
Did they take the car?
Took the car, he said. Yeah.
They took the car. So the cops straight up
just like left him
robbed
there.
him.
Pretty much, like, you stole this car, like blah 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 blah. Because he was telling some makeup person. He wasn't saying this to me. I was just listening in the room.
You're like, sorry, I just overheard that. But what the fuck?
Yeah.
Sorry, huh?
And like, I was so excited to be on this movie, and I'm not as excited, obviously, to be the terrorist. Not because
shat myself.
Shouts out to people that are into terrorism. I'm just not.
He hasn't been about it since you were a kid.
I'm looking for things on this set that are cool. So I'm like, oh, who's this? They're like, oh, Margot Kidder. You know who that is? And I'm like, of course
Famous
not.
Meltdown.
Yeah, I'm like, of course not. And they're like, who's this? It's Lou Gossett Jr. Like, I look him up. He's kind of famous.
Yeah.
And then this other guy who had a look like he was every leading man in some era.
Yeah.
But he just wasn't. He was like the stand-in for guys.
Oh my God.
And then
that look, that traditional handsome, like if you ever do the MOW movie of the week.
Yeah. I just auditioned for one of those.
What's it called? The Hallmark ones they film in Barrie. Every time they do Prince ones. And the guys that get cast as Prince, they just can't find work. I remember being on set playing some little role and just looking at this guy. I'm like, this guy's never going to get work. He's just
too pretty.
He's too pretty.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? 100% symmetrical face with like husky eyes and like just alien, like so pretty human by like some whatever the media tells us is perfection. That he's hit it so on point that it's just not
right.
It
feels
wrong.
like
it's like he's so pretty, you get the same feeling as when someone has a lot of Botox or work done.
Yeah, it throws you off.
Something's off. Your body's like, and it's like that. You could tell like, oh, there's no work done there, but it's like that's not right. That's just not. People can't look at that too long.
I saw the new Ghostbusters, and the main character, she plays like she's like a younger girl in the movie, but she's older as an actress. She's like too pretty for the role, I thought. She's like a nerdy girl, but there was like close-ups of her face. Her fucking face is like perfect.
Perfection, yeah.
And I'm like, this is she's like too, they were really trying to nerd her up.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
She had like extra big glasses. And
literally extra big glasses, but her eyes look like little pearls being held in the universe.
It's like those, right? Like Orion's belt of Men in Black, the cat's eye. Like, oh fuck!
Like, oh my God!
She's a nerd. She loves Settlers of Catan.
This is beyond captivating.
So what? She's fucking a 10 out of 10. Don't focus on her being perfection with bone symmetry that is God level.
Like that guy from the movie of the week, the handsome dude.
Unbelievable.
That guy's probably been taken for a ride because when you're handsome and then people tell you you're handsome, you're fucked.
No, I was sitting there for so long because I was extra and I don't think I even got used. And it was like such low. You're all right in there with everybody.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is this guy's like so pretty that like. How do you just go to Tim Hortons after this? People around you would be like regular humans would be like shuffle out of the way from discomfort.
Like they'll stare at him regardless of where it is.
Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah. I'm like, I was thinking, like, that's his whole life. Is that like, wow, what a fucking face, Jesus Christ? Like,
You ever see
looked
Bella
like a prince.
Hadid's mom, Yolanda?
God level sexy
She's hot, yeah.
as fuck.
I think she's crazy. Like where she's obsessed with I'm pretty sure she's like obsessed about being skinny and like very
You mean one of the world's most famous models' mom is obsessed with being skinny?
Yeah, and like needs you to be attractive basically.
Bella Hadid mom.
Yolanda something.
Yolanda Hadid.
Yolanda Hadid. Yeah, they always keep the name, you know? Hadid is a good name. That sounds like you know, that Hadid would fight The Rock in
Her mom looks like she's more of a model than Bella, to be honest.
I know. The mom's hot.
Yeah, like the mom is on some fucking Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Yolanda's
Skims or whatever it's
thick too in the right way. Well, I watched. Yeah, look at this budget. I watched because my girl watches like Real Housewives of something where she's on it.
Yeah.
And she's like in a bikini. I'm like, how old is this woman? She looks like 60 because you could just tell she's not young.
Yeah.
But her body looks like she's like 25. It's like
Yolanda
doesn't make
mom
sense.
in bikini.
That's the kind of money you need. You need
Yeah,
that. You need
that's
that
actually
money where you
insane.
can just rejuvenate.
The body.
I need rejuvenate money. That's why. Fuck.
Yolanda.
When you said the other day Joe Rogan might outlive
wow, that's
us.
crazy. 55.
Yeah. What the hell?
55. For those of you at home, Google it. You fucking pervs.
Yolanda Hadid. Shouts out. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Rogan will outlive us.
Hope not.
Rogan and Elon. Elon's definitely going to do the brain in the, Futurama with the brain in the vial type thing.
Yeah.
Elon's doing that 100%.
He kind of already is a floating head.
Yeah. Yeah, his body doesn't really have any human characteristics to it.
Yeah. It doesn't really exist.
Hey, no disrespect. Come on the pod, bro. Come on the pod.
It doesn't really respect physics, his body.
I wish more very, large figures did random unknown podcasts.
What do you mean?
Like, imagine Elon doing this podcast.
I would probably have a good time.
Oh,
honestly.
we'd have a great time.
No, I think he would have a good time too.
I think so too. I mean,
No pressure.
I think he would just be like, and then
Fucking
dividing it
Cybertruck
and
parked outside.
yeah,
People are
You're
like,
yo, let's take it for a spin.
people are like,
dog.
who's here? It's like, oh, Elon.
Don't even worry about it. Yeah, imagine Elon.
He goes to DeRosa's with you.
Imagine Elon. I would love to just for science be like at a restaurant, 2 restaurants across the street, and leak out one restaurant has Halle Berry in it and one restaurant has Elon Musk, and just see
who
over the
knows?
hour what happens.
Wow.
Who shows up?
Of course,
the numbers.
Of course, like every 30-plus-year-old black dude's going to the Halle Berry restaurant.
I know, but how many of them actually showing up? Because if I read that somewhere, I'd be like, oh shit, Halle Berry's in Toronto. I'm not going anywhere.
If it was like Halle Berry's at this restaurant and she's giving one lucky guy a blowjob.
Yeah, she's just waiting at a table. There's a line. No. He's like, yo, Halle Berry's. They do that
What's
shit with
crazy
LeBron
is-
and Drake all the
Look
time.
at how less
LeBron
appealing that
does
is. If you were
so-so.
like, Elon's at a restaurant, he's going to fuck a lucky fan tonight. And whoever, makes it versus Halle Berry will blow one guy. Just like, that's so, the Halle Berry
the Halle
one's
Berry
so
blow
much
thing
better.
is gonna, it'll be fucking a line around the block, like all of Toronto.
around the
showing up.
ball, around the city.
You're gonna be people at Elon's thing, and Elon's gonna go up to him like, "Hi, thanks." He's like, "Oh no, I'm actually waiting in line for. I'm actually in line for the the fucking Halle thing." Yeah, just kind of wrapped around into the business.
Yeah, I'm just like,
no, but the Cybertruck is sick, bro.
everyone has those like pucks that vibrate.
Yeah.
At the restaurant.
Exactly. Oh shit, I'm up. All right. Halle's
It's like an interview with Halle Berry for 5 seconds.
She's like, "Have you showered today?" You're like, "Yes, Halle."
Wrong answer. Okay, man. You're like, no.
No, what does she want?
Oh,
stop.
man. What's crazy for those people is that you can't, they don't pick who a billionaire is.
It's pure meritocracy.
Like, you could just be hanging out at the country club, and then one day the new guy comes in, and you're like, oh, he's got.
Fuck, he's
He could
30
have more
years younger
money
than
than
us,
you.
and you know what? He's got $1 trillion. No,
Oh, fuck.
hey, Malcolm. He's got $1 trillion. Fuck.
Good to meet you.
Malcolm.
You bought Ferrari. Wow.
Beautiful,
Great.
beautiful. Bro. Anytime I'm in the midst of people that I think are like socioeconomically higher than me,
Yeah.
the sweating starts beginning. I'm like, they're gonna ask me a question. I'm gonna oust myself somehow, whether I'm eating with the wrong fork or I'm slouching or something. Like I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
We were just in the Sioux, and the Sioux, and it's not really well talked about. But the guy that founded GFL
What the fuck is GFL?
They pick up all the garbage, the waste company.
Is this an Ontario-wide thing?
It's Canada-wide.
Oh, yeah?
He's a fucking billionaire, this guy. He's from the Sioux.
So he's the garbage truck creator business
Pretty
guy.
much, I guess. GFL is like his company. And he just sold a house in Austin, Texas for like $100 and something million that he bought for $70 million.
Really?
And I'm trying to like get in the paper for doing stand-up in the Sioux locally.
Yeah.
And this guy, I never heard his name until I was working with the Jays, because like everyone's like, you know, the GFL guy, he's from the Sioux. And I was like, what does that mean? Like
That's all that old money you were dealing with. GFL. Malcolm Glad.
Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell.
Dude,
Stephen
there was a
Michael.
guy.
Good man.
I forget his name, but he was something in there. He's like an executive of up high that level like that, like GFL executive. And you could tell he'd been rich for a long time, because he was eating and talking like as if there was no food.
There's no consideration.
But food's coming out of his mouth.
Are we talking video, or are we talking in person? Or are we talking audio?
Right in person. I'm talking to him.
Food is falling on you. Raining.
Like raining
Gaza,
on this
people in
kid.
Gaza would be killing for this guy to talk to them.
There was a kid.
Yeah.
Popcorn's falling onto this kid's head, and he just wipes it off like it's like
his
like
own
it's
child.
Rain. I don't know. I'm not sure. He was too old for this kid to be this kid's dad.
That's so funny. Do you know what his money was involved in?
Yeah, like garbage and all these people. So you would have suites that were owned by a company like RBC or TV.
Yeah.
But you'd go in and it would just be like a person that works for them.
Yeah. They got
like an associated third
they
party
got some
business.
incentive thing, and they gave him their ticket that night.
All these companies basically have boxes that they're like, oh, you're a client, go here.
Yeah.
And please don't
Just
ever
perks.
please don't ever not do business with us.
Gotcha.
All these people, you'd go in there like, oh, as a consultant for GFL, or I would do this or do this. But his insane chewing and eating, I was like, you've just been rich for such a long time.
How old is this guy?
Probably 50, in his 50s.
Oh, it's not even that. I'm picturing 80s. That's
no,
crazy.
dude, he had good hair.
That's weird. That's like very unbecoming of like the this type of class of people, you know?
I know.
Maybe he just deemed you as lesser and just ate accordingly.
No, because I asked. It was so crazy that I was like,
do you rain on people, your peers?
I was like,
okay, all right, yeah.
I was going up to people I didn't know, and I was like, can you tell me who this guy is? Because he was so bold in what he was doing. I was like, does he fund it all? Like
a king, like a medieval king ripping.
He
like
was going
a fucking...
up to people's popcorn that I'm pretty sure he didn't know. Like it was a big suite, but it's not like everybody knows everybody in there.
Yeah.
He's just eating. He's just like, yeah, sure, this is for me. This is for me.
Legit.
He pulled the waitress. He's like, yeah, okay, I need the deli stuff. We need it now. Like as if it was his fucking
like
suite.
Worker direct.
Like he signs the checks. He didn't. He had no business with us. He's just a fucking guest.
Wow.
But the wealth. When you don't give a fuck like that,
I hate being in the service industry.
You're either a fighter or rich. Dude, the dynamics at the Jays, because there's suites, right? And every suite has like a waitress, like a hostess.
Yeah.
And these
sexual
hostesses,
assault that these bitches.
no, you pay. You could pay for that. I'm just kidding. Nobody gets sexually assaulted, for the love of God.
Yeah, exactly.
I just signed a thing that you can't like talk bad about them.
But they got an undisclosed out of court large settlement constantly.
But there's a whole.
It's just $150,000 for her studying aspirations.
There's a whole ecosystem of these like hostesses that are trying to like get stuff.
Like when you say get stuff,
Like,
get in with the
they're just
clientele.
like information or like trying to get like
they're like Cat Williams bitches.
Yeah.
Bring it to me. I value that.
But like they have a company that they work with. But like what I mean is I go in the hostess thing, I ask a question, just check on people, and then one girl goes like, hey, do you know when our breaks are? Like, can you check when our breaks are?
Like,
and
hush,
she
hush.
knows I don't know when the breaks are.
Okay.
But she knows I'm new. And that I might go check for her, and maybe she gets her break a little earlier because this new kid
Good misinformation.
And they're passing that off all over.
This is some
the
Game
place.
of Thrones shit. By the way.
Yeah, they're like, no, that's my
Jordan
suite.
said that I was wrapped right now.
No, Jordan said I was working in this
Jordan?
suite.
The new guy.
The new guy.
Who the hell? Where is he?
What's his title?
And some angry
he's
guy
a
comes
premium
to you.
account service manager. Oh, well, he must have told you to be in there. Whole system going on.
Are they skimpy dresses or?
No, they're like moderate. Everyone
Are we
varies.
talking a chick at Moxie's? Are we talking a chick at the Keg?
You're pretty much working with every version of every girl that's ever worked at Moxie's, the Keg, and different years. So I'm talking, you got your 50-year-old Keg waitress there. You got your 25-year-old Keg waitress there.
So we're talking about there's turtlenecks and full cleavage showing.
Yeah,
and everything in the middle.
Some of these women have such a small bust that you don't even know it's there.
God bless him. Did the bunda make up for it though? Did they go ass to grass in the gym to balance what God held out on them?
No disrespect to these women; they were all lovely, but there was always
you could
something.
play chess
there was
on
always
their chest
something
and ass.
off. You know, it was almost like if they were trying to get into like a high-end restaurant, this is the reason they didn't get in.
Gotcha.
You know,
just they lack the traditional feminine body.
Which, by the way, I will say, all of the guys that worked for there are traditionally unattractive, I would say, as men. They all look like they just were like...
That sounds like by design, though.
Yeah, but they also all look like they just got cut from their bowling teams. Like most of these guys.
Oh, big guys. Burly. Bellies.
Odd shapes over at the Jays.
Really? Interesting.
I enjoyed walking the sweet hallway, and sometimes the sports announcer guys would just be trying to have a regular conversation with somebody, but they would be talking like this. So, how's your wife, Karen? And you're just like, I can't be.
You know you fuck like that.
And then somebody who's been there for 25 years would be like, that's not how they talk, right? You're like, what? You're like, I heard him talking for real.
I'm just about to finish.
Like literally.
Oh, and the dismount.
I saw the lunch in the media room today is looking amazing. Are you going to be there? Because I'm going to pass by shortly. You're like, okay.
And we've got and we got a high water pressure coming in from the east. My wife, my ex-wife.
My wife. There's also a lot of like
the outfield moving back in.
In Italian, it's called musu, like sad face.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of like scowls walking around there.
Like when you say old men?
No, just like even women, because there was
decades of gambling debt.
Like the CEO lady was like a lady.
What? Repeat that?
The CEO person.
Oh, the CEO.
She was she was like a
Did her husband own it or some shit?
No. She just like
How'd you get in
she was
there,
just
Playboy?
intense.
The CEO of the Jays.
She was the CEO of the business operations of the business of
Who owns the Blue Jays? Is this owned by the teachers' tuition thing?
Rogers Media.
Rogers Media.
Yeah.
I thought they which
have a
pension?
suite?
Ontario Pension Fund. They own.
They
the
used
Leafs?
to own the Maple Leafs, but
Yeah.
the Maple Leafs are now owned by Rogers and Bell.
Yeah, they do. It's just all monopoly.
Rogers
shit, man.
Suite
Rogers and
at the
Bell.
Jays,
the
man,
big boys.
is fucking sick. You go in there, it's completely white, and in the
course.
middle, it looks like an Iron Man tube.
Yeah.
And inside is like a plate and a bat and a cool
That
jersey.
owned to like fucking like Babe Ruth or some shit. Like these
No,
are
it's just
original?
like a cool baseball like player associated with the Jays that either played with the team or did something cool. Like it's just a really nice suite that they have.
Rogers and Bell. Does Bell own TELUS?
No,
Or is TELUS just another big family
I think
out there?
TELUS is another big family.
Is it a family?
If it's not a family, God bless them.
Yeah, it's a family.
It feels like
They're only in the West. That sounds like some family shit. We never fucked with Central Canada.
Which makes sense to do it back in the day to name your shit after a family, but now it makes less sense, I feel like.
Yeah.
I would want my kids if for some way we were GM or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to immediately get treated like shit. But also
because of your last name?
I guess
No,
that
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite, I guess. Yeah.
Complete.
I'm thinking you're going to public school.
Rogers is if anything, here's the kid. Like you and another kid are spray painting a school, and a security guard comes up. What's your name? You go, Michael Rogers.
Whoa.
He goes, okay. You know what I mean? Like that.
He's like, they own this school.
Oh, yeah. Like I might be sued based on how hard I grab your elbow.
Yeah.
So that type of thing, obviously you want for your kids, but also that creates the biggest pieces of shit history has known. Is like the
What's the deal with your name being the same? Like I have that in the Sioux where there's Policicchios that we are not related to.
coincidence?
But that can't be real, right? That's not a thing.
I don't know how big that name was in Italy.
But what does that even mean? Like any Wahabs are related, right? No? How does that make sense?
Of course, Mohammeds are necessarily not related, right? Because that name is so common.
The last name Mohammed?
There's last name Muhammad. That is a last name, but it's commonly a first
when does
name.
it split?
Well, I'm saying common names are, of course, they don't necessarily have to be related. If a guy's name is Michael Clark versus Duncan Clark, you're not like, you guys are both in the same family. No, his last name Clark, right? But the more rare or the more uncommon the name is, the more you're like, oh, these people got to be related. But then at no point do they actually have to be related.
Well, there's so many Rogers that I was thinking like,
Rogers is so common.
It's so common.
I don't even know if like, actually, no, his name is Ted Rogers. That's the top guy, right?
Ted Rogers.
Yeah.
Ted Rogers School of Business. Ryerson.
Oh, fucking just a tax play, huh?
Dude, when your name is like
the name of like a high level business school too.
Yeah.
Not just like those like the Schulich School of Medicine in like Western. I don't even know who Schulich is, but you know they got money. Whoever Schulich is.
When it's easy to say and it's on a building. Schulich's hard.
And then
Schulich makes me feel like I should be in the hospital.
The worst though.
Western?
The Westons.
Oh,
the Loblaws.
They're
no
really
frills.
rich.
They own all of it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're like, oh fuck Loblaws. I'm going to Shoppers. They're like, we own that one. You're like,
well, it was just a fucking bakery in the beginning.
Was it?
Weston Bakeries.
Really?
Turn it into Loblaws.
And then they just started globbing up and eating up everybody.
If you were born in like the 50s and 30s and you're not a fucking millionaire, you're an idiot. Sorry, Dad.
No, I agree.
Sorry, Pops.
I agree. But it depends. If you were raised very religious, you probably like. I've seen it go two ways. Most of the time, if you're religious, you stay in your humble place.
Yeah,
because this life is a test.
You don't take risks.
Yeah, this life is a test.
Yeah.
I'm going to church.
Also, like
the
when
next
you're
life is
religious,
where I reap the benefits.
When you're religious, like you're like, God gave us this water.
Exactly.
But when you're an entrepreneur, you're like, I gotta
this
sell waste in the water.
I gotta fucking do something with this.
Like,
water.
can you believe how easy it is to pollute?
Yeah, it's like entrepreneurs like, God gave me this water, and God wants you to give me your water. You're like, oh fuck, right. That's what God wants.
Imagine being in business in
and
like
you have
the
more
60s.
Fears when you're religious.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more fears, more risk averse, and you're like, to make it in business, especially to the highest levels like these guys, many cutthroat dealings had to have happened. People were
that's
stomped.
what I'm saying.
At any point when it was like you and this guy, that guy got stomped at every iteration. That it was you and this guy, that guy got hit out.
It was questions like in the 60s, it's like, oh, the workers are costing us a lot. Stop paying them.
Period.
They're like, oh, fuck.
Like, oh,
and then they go on to build a huge business off of that.
Do you remember what, Blu-ray versus HD? How that was like red, who's gonna make it? Red versus blue.
Oh man,
who's gonna make it? And Blu-ray won, and you didn't even hear HD ever again. It went right away. That had to have happened at every 10 years. These guys, when they go to a new level of like dominating the industry, it's them versus this guy.
Yeah,
and then so the Ted Rogers and the Rogers family, I figure like they shut down at least 10 multi-million-dollar competitors.
Well, they just bought, I think it's last year, they just bought Shaw Communications.
Yeah, it's just absorbing. It's just...
Yeah, but Shaw was massive and was going to make it so a little bit more competition, but then they merged.
But it's like a 10 versus 90. It's like a nothing.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
It's like a moon to the earth. It's fucking...
Rogers is like the Apple of Canada, basically. In terms
Comcast is that in the States. Yeah. And it's even... Comcast is even bigger. And proportionally, it's even worse. Like in the sense of customer service, in the sense of like what could, if you go to a Service Ontario, you ready yourself knowing things can happen right now that are not acceptable in any customer service environment.
They're also using machines that you haven't seen in a long time at Service Ontario.
Oh yeah, it's like a fax, but it's doing Scantron shit.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? But like something could happen in there where they go, sir, something. And you just got to play ball because it's government.
They can tell you have to wait an hour, and you're like, okay.
Or you don't get a license.
Yeah.
Not today.
You're like, all right.
That could happen in a Service Canada, Service Ontario. By the same like fucking analogy, in the States, Comcast, when you go into a Comcast, it's not customer service like capitalism anymore. It is pretty much in that state of like the DMV of like
they own it.
God knows what could happen in this you might get
God knows what could happen.
You might be your bill might be 3 times what it is, and they just go, no, it's 3. It is. It is. Yeah. You know.
Oh, because I lived in Sault Ste. Marie growing up, and when it's like data became a thing, roaming, we'd live on the border of Sault, Michigan. So in the beginning, in the early days, your phone, just depends where you are in the city, would
like, welcome to U.S. Yeah,
randomly be on. And then remember in high school, like people would get insane bills for Rogers that were like They would literally lose their phone. People are like, I can't have a phone anymore. You're like, why? Oh, my bill's like $1,800. I have to fucking quit school to pay this to Rogers. You're like,
I'm a farmer now.
Why? What did you, like, everything costs so much money.
I was sending video near the lake and
it took 3 days.
And now my dad's divorcing my mom.
It just shit didn't make sense, man. And it's not any cheaper, which is funny.
Well, that's the thing. We went to Barbados. At one point, we glossed over into Andrea. She turns her thing off airplane mode. I pay for it, and I just tether. So only one person's paying when we go on travel.
Yeah.
At one point in the scuffle of shit, we went into a zone where it goes, welcome, and it hits you with that day rate. I'm like trying to fight it with these people. It's impossible to fight it with them.
Yeah. The AI said welcome.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but like, look at the minutes. Look at the data. Look at, you have access to see. We didn't use it. You're like,
the text got sent, my friend.
Sorry. Like I have one where it's like 2 days or it's $15 a day. It's $30. I'm like, I'm just going to pay this 30 because the fucking mental poison I'm going to take trying to get this 30 back is not worth that.
Dude, I hate, like in a lot of ways, I've said this about vending machines before, but I hate technology.
I said this about vending machines. I know you hate vending. The man hates vending machines.
I've tried to go. Deanna had this thing where it's like Too Good to Go or something. It's an app where if they've baked a bunch of shit and they didn't sell it, they'll sell it in a bag for cheaper.
Like a mystery bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a ton of places that do this. So she sends me to one of the things and I click the button and it's like, here's the invitation to
go get a mystery bag.
Go get a mystery bag. Here's the invitation. You can pick it up with this. I click it. It makes you download the app. You got to sign in. You got to make a thing. You got to ruin your life. You're 10 minutes in.
Connect with Gmail.
Yeah, you're 10 minutes in for this thing to pick it up. When really the actual A to B is go in the store, grab the bag and leave, or pay for it and leave. So I go in.
Say thank you.
There's an old lady just like hanging from the wall. And I'm like, what? Hey, can I pick? I'm here to pick this up for Deanna. And I'm like, the app's not working though. Do you just have the bag? She's like, oh, the bags don't exist. I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, they don't exist.
It's a virtual bag.
When the app comes in, when you bring it in, that makes it real. We then take that, we scan that on the phone, and then I charge you and I make the bag here. There's no bags. Like she would already have paid for it, but she doesn't pay. That's not how it works.
You're just like rubbing your temple.
And I'm like, oh, so this whole thing is just a nightmare? Like we're all waiting in the world for like the internet to say what emails.
To do. Yeah, they're like, we got their email. Like, give them whatever.
Not even collect emails. Like the system. We're all waiting for the system to be like prompting you to be like, you can do your thing now.
They're like, there's no way. You're like, I am existing in the store in reality right now. Is there no way for you to do this?
No, we've given up on reality. And we're like, no, I got to wait for the machine.
Yeah, I need that 6-digit code, man. Unless I get the 6-digit code.
Dude, it drives me insane.
Like, yeah, that shit's so annoying, bro.
It's happening all over the place.
Yeah, like I switched from Fido to Rogers. That process is, and they own, Rogers owns them all. So it's all an internal thing they do. And we're just like waiting on some fucking text.
Why'd you switch?
Because, bro, I was paying so much.
Well, yeah.
No, I was paying so much.
Rogers is nuts.
No, I switched to Rogers.
Oh.
Anytime you want to switch, they all have a good deal, and they all keep adding $10 to your month every month. They'll add $10. By the way, 10 more gigabytes for $7, and then slowly but surely they build you up to $100, $90, and then to reset. To get back to a good deal, you must switch. It's like engineers; they always leave companies to get a more salary. It's the same with the tele. I have to go to Bell or I have to go to Rogers.
Yeah, they bake it in.
They have a new customer price that's impossible to get if you're an existing customer.
Yeah.
So you got to ditch everything, fucking crossover, and we're just waiting there for.
How much is this new Rogers bill?
I was paying $90 for it with Fido. The same thing is $39 with Rogers.
$39?
I was paying 40 gigabytes of LTE with Fido. Now I get 50 gigabytes of 5G for $39.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? Like, and the 39 is not even the best. I know if you have if you have any family or friends that work in telecommunications, bro, they're all paying like $8. Like they all know how and when. They're like, when students come September, you go to the thing, you say this. and then they all know how to get unlimited everything for nothing. Like, it all costs these people nothing. They just, how much can we fucking get out of this motherfucker?
Oh yeah, it's fucking nuts.
It's just like we're all faucets. We're like a million faucets to Rogers, and they're just trying to yank all of us open to the max.
Every single Canadian is on like one of three things: a brand new plan that they were on some other shit, a corporate plan at some job they haven't worked at in 15 years, or they brought their own device and they're like, that's the cheapest scenario you can get. But their phone's getting old.
I've been crossing over with the device for years.
Dude, we've been doing it all.
Yeah. My shit's like, I don't. Just the way they got you by the balls with the 2-year sucks. But if they lock you in with such a good like plan, you're like, fuck it. I'll just.
It used to be 3 years. Then
I remember the
CRTC was like, it's
this
too
is
much.
aggressive. Yeah. Which is. It shocked me when I found that out. I'm like, oh, they just changed it to 2 years. That benefits us. I don't.
Yes.
Who okayed this?
But I think
you know what I mean.
I think they actually ended up making more money
because it encourages updating phones.
Yeah. And then they did all the financing and ways to get it in your hand.
I just have never seen a scenario where
you win,
where our contractual obligation is less.
Yeah.
I was like,
true.
oh.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm like, and at 2 years we owe them another 3 years, or like, what's the catch at the end of this shit?
That's what it is.
That's what it is, brother. Before we wrap up, how'd the audition go with singing and dancing and fucking?
Good. I thought I did great. So I'm just waiting for.
Did you hit the guitar riffs and all that shit?
I did. I played and sang, which was good because I practiced a bunch and got it all done on Sunday, which was really, really nice.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of those ones I probably won't hear anything, but I'll feel good about the audition.
You felt good about it when you submitted
I was
it?
like, I could get this. Because there's so many elements. I was like...
Without that feeling, it's impossible to get. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
You must have the feeling, I could get this. And then of those, you get 10%. That's kind of how it goes.
Fuck.
But like, a lot of times I'll even submit shit like I'm like, it's go, go, go. And I'm like, oh, I gotta... And then as you're submitting it, you know, I needed to cook this a little bit more, or brew this a little bit more. Like, if I don't have that feeling, I'm never going to get it.
Well, I used to think acting was, because some people can just come out of the gate and do really well with it, but it's the same as a comedy where you're not going to be as good as you are when you're loose until you've done it for a bit.
That's why I always preferred there's two things of it. You could want to be in the room, the confidence of being in the room and selling yourself. But as far as the quality of what I can do in the scene, a self-tape is always better for me.
It is.
Because I'm just running it, and then that 10th or 11th take is like just fucking butter.
Self-tapes actually make more sense now to me because...
That's what's happening on set.
That's exactly what's happening on set.
There's no reason...
Or you're going to come prepared and do it.
I'll repeat that.
Like you're going to come having done the scene a couple times with somebody alone and then come and do it maybe 1 or 2 times, which is like when you go on audition, you do it once. If they're in the mood to talk, you talk and do it again. But if not, you're just done. Like
no, you're done. And they don't ever say stuff like, hey, real loose, let's try it. If we want to make any adjustments, we're going to try it again. It's just be like, on your mark, let us know when you're ready. You're like, okay.
It's almost like the Olympics. You got one gunshot to start right.
And then on set, they're like, we're changing our light. You just tried it 8 times, but the light was wrong. Go back to your thing. We're going to try it 10 more times after lunch. There's funny. No reason to have that pressure. No reason at all.
You'd think that both systems are not for the same thing.
I don't know why they keep having us to go. To be honest, anytime they want us to leave the remote thing, in my mind, it's for the sake of employability. People have to stay employed. Yeah. People have to stay justified, right?
I'm curious if there's ever, and I'm thinking of this personally, if there's ever a level where you're not famous, but you've done so many commercials where they're just like giving them to you. Like if it's with the same product, it has the opposite effect where you're like that product, like the guy at TNT or whatever his name is, the guy in the yellow shirt and the black frame glasses. He did like some American freaking telecommunications. He was their guy. You know the black guy with RBC in town? That guy's not getting any other shit. I haven't seen him in nothing because you're the fucking RBC guy. Yeah, you are the RBC. Well, he's the BMO guy. But the BMO guy. But still, like the money of that's got to be stupid. They keep re-upping him in new shit. Oh, it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be retarded. I'm curious when they make that decision where they're like, we're going to go with a guy. We're not going to go with many. Exactly. Because I'm like, that means you have
this face and this person is who you co-sign, like your brand identity lines up exactly.
Well,
with
that
this.
used to be a huge thing way back in the day. My parents used to love the Alexander Keith's commercial, and I used to do it.
Because it was the same guy?
Same guy who was just funny. He did like a funny accent.
Yeah.
Ended up being a pedophile.
They all end up being pedophiles.
Dude, there was an era.
They all end up being
literally
pedophiles.
all
The best ones do.
The best ones do.
Back to Kevin Spacey
Back
theory.
to Spacey. There was a period in the 2000s.
Michael Jackson.
Where
R. Kelly.
Where there was like commercial acting was like a thing that guys got. And then they would all be pedophiles. Like ShamWow was a degenerate. That guy was a pedophile.
Yeah.
A bunch of these
What's
dudes.
with that?
I don't know. It's a weird correlation, man. There's no rhyme or reason.
If you're in the industry, there's no reason why you being a degenerate is going to put you forward. Yeah, I can't understand why. Especially with the ShamWow guy. Because it was his... You know why? It's because it was his whole initiative, right? He was the guy. He wasn't just hired to be the guy.
I think he
was involved with the shamming and the wowing,
yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
He also had a curious face.
Oh, you look next. Vincent,
Yeah.
the coke guy?
He looked, yeah.
His name was Vincent, wasn't it?
The OxyClean guy, I think, went nuts. He didn't.
OxyClean,
he didn't
with the
touch
beard,
kids,
right?
yeah, but I think he went nuts.
He
too.
lost it. He died.
Yeah. Hard life being the brand guy.
The infomercial brand guys always die.
Yeah,
you can't.
You must be sick of yourself.
You got to stay away from infomercials.
Maybe they're hearing themselves in their heads. With
like, did it pick
OxyClean,
it up?
like
and look, what are you thinking? No way it's going to pick it up. But look again. Whoa. Wow. What? Don't tell me only one comes with, and you choose now, $19.99, come with me. Ah!
Imagine the OxyClean guy's in his kitchen and then something legitimately wows him and he says the same wow that happens in the OxyClean commercial. He's like, oh, God.
He's like, I'm killing myself tonight. And then they ended it. And on that note, let's end this motherfucker, huh?
See you next Friday.
This comes out
Friday, I think.
Friday, yeah. Oh, come out tonight. Free Times Cafe. 2 shows, same show. You know the deal. And then next Wednesday.
No, come out on Sunday, April 7th, Winona. And then what's every Wednesday?
I didn't know if your Winona's every Wednesday.
No, it's just a one-off for now.
Oh, okay. Sunday, Winona.
Sunday, April 7th, Winona.
Toronto.
Beam me up.
Jordan Policicchio on the Instagram. Hit him up. Until next time. Peace.